This is Fantasy Baseball Today from CBSSports.com.
Welcome to an exclusive presentation of Fantasy Baseball Today for CBS Local Sports. I am Adam Azer with Scott White and Al Melchior. And instead of telling you who to start and sit next week as we usually do, let's look ahead to the future, to the second half of the baseball season after the All-Star break. Who do we like and who are we maybe going to try to avoid, sell high on going into the second half? You guys ready?
I am ready.
Let's do it. 4 players we like. Number 1, Matt Adams. Scott, you like Matt Adams?
I do, and it's hard not to like him with the way he's performed here recently. Most people made him out to be a 30-homer candidate at the start of the year, was well behind that pace most of the year, but the power has suddenly shown up here. And as much as he struggled against left-handers in his career, a lot of this power has come against lefties. So even with a bit of a roster crunch going on now with Oscar Taveras up, we never really know who's sitting every day. I don't think Adams is at too much risk of losing at bats. I think he's in for a big second half.
Al Melchior likes a young pitcher in Tampa Bay, Jake Odorizzi.
I do, and it's not always easy for Jake Odorizzi because when he goes on the road.
That's why you like him.
Yeah, that's right. Just a fun excuse. We can move on now. But no, the schedule makes a difference for Odorizzi. He's very good at home, as you would expect. Tropicana Field, great pitcher's park. Odorizzi will give you strikeouts no matter what, but he can prevent runs in good ballparks. He starts off the second half series at Minnesota, at St. Louis, good ballparks. Then a nice long homestand at home. Well, that's where homestands happen. Another homestand late August, early September. So there's a lot of opportunities there for Odorizzi to have an advantageous schedule. And I think he can just improve skill-wise on top of the good schedule.
All right, Martin Prado's been underachieving so far in the first half. You expect better things in the second half.
I do, and it's very similar to last season. He got off to a slow start. He started to pick it up a little sooner than right now, but he was a .330 hitter in the second half, and I think he's in for something similar. The track record for him in terms of batting average just so consistent. The 1 year where he wasn't a great source of batting average, he battled a staph infection that year, so it's kind of excusable. But the strikeout rate is a little high. That is something of a concern. It's still low for the average player, though, and I just trust the track record too much to pass on Martin Prado right now.
One more player to like here, and somebody you should be targeting right now. He's available in a lot of leagues, Danny Salazar.
That's right, because I started off the season miserably, got sent down, and at that point lost a lot of popularity, a lot of ownership in fantasy leagues. But a call-up could be imminent for Salazar, not before the break, but that's obviously just, now we're just talking about the upcoming weekend. After the break, Salazar could have his opportunity to join the Indians rotation, and he's improved in his time in the minor leagues and could be back to the point where he was when he got called up last fall and was just lights out.
Those are players we like. Players we don't like now, starting with Casey McGehee, driving a lot of runs, hitting .398 with runners in scoring position. You don't like him so much going forward.
Yeah, there's .398 with runners in scoring position seems pretty unsustainable. And that's just the tip of the iceberg as far as unsustainable rates go for Casey McGehee. And I think the worst part about it all is he's not hitting for any power at all. And that was something in his bad years that he did at least enough to make him useful at times. I think when the batting average falls, runners in scoring position falls, there's not going to be a lot to fall back on, and he's just not going to be mixed league relevant at all.
What about ANIBAL Sanchez? Where are the strikeouts out? Does that concern you going forward?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he left the strikeouts. Wish he'd find them, but he really hasn't had very many throughout the season. And that's really backed up by a very low, or I should say a very ordinary swinging strike rate of about 8%, which is very atypical for Sanchez. And it's gone on long enough that I'm concerned, but in fantasy, he hasn't really paid the price for it. He's allowing a .164 batting average on ground balls, which is about 80 points below what's normal. So if he doesn't pick it up with missing bats, there's going to be more hits to come, more runs, and Sanchez could be actually a pretty ordinary pitcher in the second half.
Now, Scott told you he likes Matt Adams. Does not like his teammate Alan Craig.
Yeah, and it's related there. I really feel like Craig is a victim of bad timing in this situation because I do think if he was assured every day at bats in the second half, he'd be a pretty good bounce-back candidate. But if Matt Adams is hitting this well and is going to stay in the lineup and Oscar Taveras is going to stick around, so far that arrangement, Alan Craig's been the one sitting most often, and I'm not sure there's an opportunity for him to get back in more than 2 or 3 times a week. So that's not going to be useful.
No, I don't like that. No. How about Alfredo Simon? He's been a top 15 starting pitcher. Why don't you like him going forward, Al?
Yeah, I just think that he's going to be a long way from top 15 rest of the season, just when you take a look at how he has done it. Not a strikeout pitcher at all. Also somebody who, particularly at home, gives up his fair share of home runs, but he's managed to strand 85% of his base runners when the major league norm is closer to the lower 70, 72, 73%. That's a big, big difference. And like I mentioned before with ANIBAL Sanchez, also a very low batting average on ground balls that he's allowed, 159. So when you put that all together, there's a lot of different places where you can see Simon coming back to earth.
After the All-Star break, fantasy baseball returns on Thursday, live noon Eastern, and then going forward Monday through Friday. Make sure you check it out, live noon Eastern time at fantasynews.cbssports.com. This is an exclusive presentation of Fantasy Baseball Today for CBS Local Sports. For Al Melchior and Scott White, I'm Adam Azer. Have a great weekend and enjoy the All-Star game.